Hello everyone and welcome to a very late Yorkshire Gamers monthly Wargames update, and here we are in June 2024, and it's been a bit of a naval month this month, so that's going to halve my viewers already, as anything naval wargaming is just a kiss of death for numbers on this channel, but there we go. I love it, so I'm sticking with it, and let's go and have a look at what we've managed to paint. So this is what we were looking at a minute ago, and I have decided that my main concentration is going to be on the 1/700th Narvik project. So my week tends to be 9 days. I'll work 5 and be off for 4. So my plan is to do one ship per 9 days, which is perfectly doable. They're not massively time consuming, and they're relatively easy to do in single units rather than painting, a massive 32-man battalion of French old Young Guard, which we'll get to in a minute. So this is HMS Hostile. It was HMS Hardy, but somebody pointed out quite rightly that I'd used the wrong model, and that's fair enough. So this is a H-class destroyer, British, and the model is from IBG Models, who are from Poland. And with this one, we've got a very plain, as was quite usual with British destroyers at the early war, plain grey, light grey, and then I've done the courtesan decking. And the courtesan, which is basically a bit like a lino in your kitchen, if you remember them, just to give extra grip. And it's got that dark brown colour. Another substance used was Semtex, would you believe? And that was a greeny colour, and I may do that on another ship in the future. And I'll just turn this to the front, and I'll see if we can zoom in and have a little look at some of the detail on the ship, because the one thing with IBG Models is that their kit is just absolutely amazing. They've got this really detailed, well, for me it is anyway, photo etch stuff, the railings, etc., that come as standard with the kit. Normally people will buy sort of upgrades for their naval stuff, buy a cheapish kit from Tamiya or one of the other manufacturers, and then you can end up spending 30 or 40 quid just on photo etch upgrades. Now these are, at the end of the day, going to be wargaming models, so there is an element of me trying to keep a level of playability about them. And with this one, Eagle Eyes already will already notice that the main mast has been knocked off, so I'm in the process of putting another one of those on eventually. So that's the first kit that we've built, and then I'm going Narvik convoy, Narvik convoy, Narvik convoy. So I have built yet another, I think this is number 7 in my range of Liberty ships, and the Trumpeter do 2. They do Jeremiah Brown and Jeremiah O'Brien and I can't remember, William Brown, I think it is, Edward Brown maybe. Two of the Liberty ships that have survived today, so I'm mixing and matching those different styles and just giving them random names, and this one turned out to be Abraham Baldwin. And with this one I've gone for a very light grey. As regular viewers will know, I'm trying to mix up the colours within the convoy to make it look recognisable to players, not to be historically accurate, though I'm trying to be, but what I want is players to go, that is that ship, etc., without picking these things up, because there's a lots of reasons why you don't want to pick this up. I've experimented with this one, with the front cargo, what are they called? It's gone. Front cargo bows or whatever, cranes. God, brain's going. I've put those in an upright position, and a lot of people say they were always up at sea, and I've got loads of photographs that shows they weren't always up at sea. But I just want to have a little bit of a mixture of stuff, and I think the next one that I'm putting together already, I have put them with all the cranes up in the up position. So just see how that goes, see how it feels. Happy again, as I always am, with the weathering on this, and the seas come out absolute business. So that is Liberty ship number 7. And then the third and final thing I've painted this month, again all naval, is S19 Hermann Kuhn, which is one of the German destroyers from Narvik. Again, plain colours, which is I've done this one with a slightly darker lower hull, light grey, almost white upper hull, and then a dark grey deck, as you can see. And trumpeter model, a little bit of photo etch with this, not a massive amount, but they do look the business. I really do like the look of these German destroyers, and with the sea bases, etc. I think, yeah, I'm really, really happy with that. So that's all I've done painting wise. We'll have a look at the work in progress and the Young Guard, which really haven't got very far. So let's have a look at work in progress. So a very quick work in progress this week. We will regulars will know that my ongoing box, which you can just see there, this is full of undercoated Young Guard, and the correct size flags. Got that wrong first time round, but there we go. So, ta-da! There is. Let's zoom in, give him a bit of light. That is my one painted French Young Guard. I'm quite happy with it, to be fair. It is a long time since I've painted these. I used to paint quite a bit for the Wargames Holiday Centre back in the early 1990s, and the Elite Miniatures was their stock of the day, so I painted lots of these, but I haven't painted any for a long time, so I quite enjoyed putting this together, to be fair. I tried a couple of new things with it, and it hasn't been varnished. That's just one thing to point out. But I've tried, if you look at the plates, certainly the Knootle plates, the band around the top of the Shako and the peak of the Shako are gloss. So I've used a gloss black on those. It doesn't make a massive difference, but I can tell looking at that that they're gloss. So how I'm gonna keep that through the varnishing process, I'm not really sure, because this is going to need varnishing. You know, you can look on the base, there's some little chips there already from me just sticking the thing down, so it's going to need a varnish. And an interesting thing as well, point for discussion, I've put this down with Gorilla Glue, which was the one thing that I nearly had to hand, and it's gone all frothy. Just wondered if anybody else had had that. It kind of expands and froths out. Not a major problem, but you know, I will milliput around it. But yeah, it's just a little bit strange. So anyway, I've only painted one of these, and as I say, the ships are priority number one at the moment, until I get all the ships done for Narvik, and then I'll start doing on other stuff. So I'll crack on with this again this month. I don't even think I'm going to finish it by the end of July, but there's no rush. Like I say, another 4 ships done next month, I'll be more than happy. So I've gone to the detail of putting little eagles on the turnbacks. I've got these are very old school figures, but I think this lad has come out very nicely, and I'm very happy with him. So I'm looking forward to see what he's going to look like in a unit. So we've seen what we've done. Let's see what we've spent our money on. How much? So here's what's come in new into the house this month, and not a massive amount, but there's enough to talk about. And number one, bit of a surprise for me, and probably the guests as well, but sorry, the viewers as well. But this was a Father's Day present from my son, so I shall paint these up and get them used somewhere. But Flames of War Crusader AA Troop, thank you very much, Kieran, much appreciated. Great to have family who are involved in your hobby. I really like that. So I've bought a couple of kits, and after the moaning that I got HMS Hardy wrong, I made sure I bought a specific HMS Kimberley kit, and this is from HP Models, and I've never bought any of these before, and this is proper. Look at this lid here. That has literally been printed off at home and folded and stapled together. And very, very basic instructions. And the actual parts of the model are all, looks like 3D resin on there. So we'll see how we get on with that. It's not decals, it's just... flags. I can't see any guns in here, so yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think I might have to go digging or buy some from somewhere else. And then I bought another kit as well, and this is to a proper HMS Hardy. So this one has got the tripod masts and the extra gun and all that sort of stuff. So nobody can complain I've got the wrong model, because this is it here. Nico models again, which I showed off last month. These are resin and photo etch. I do apologise, just let me get into the box off camera. And I do mean to do a unboxing for these, because they are different and people probably not familiar with them in the UK, but lots of these really tiny parts in resin, really nice detail on them, and then a big old sheet of photo etch there, and then the main resin, it's a main hull itself done in resin, and then in the bottom there's some wire there for your masts, which is going to be a replacement mast on HMS Hostile as well. So I'll do a proper unboxing of those in due course. So two naval models bought this month, and I have also picked up these guys. Now this is another kind of long-term thing for me, and everyone's familiar with the Mentana project. Well, I've bought some Bourbon infantry from the Italian Risorgimento, Bourbon's Army 1859 to 61, from a company called Shaco 64 in Italy, and got through customs no problems this time. So there's a unit of 30 figures here of guard chasseurs for the Bourbon Army. I'm going to work off the order of battle for the Bourbon Army at Volturno. If I'd potentially to do a game in it many years in the future, again, this will be something I'll do on my own, so it's going to take me a little bit of time. So I've bought all the figures. I've bought a mounted officer, and they do all the flags. So I bought the flags from them, and then I have got two. If we have a look at one of the bags in a little bit more detail, you can see there we've got separate heads, we've got separate bodies, separate backpacks, and separate bayonet holders. So I'll just drop the camera down and we'll have a closer look at one of them made up. So here we have one of the figures made up, and there's just a couple of poses in each of the bags, so you get two figures each in the same pose. You can get slight variation with moving the hands and moving the head, just a little bit. And they're reasonably good quality. I quite like the look of them. Head looks a little bit small, but we shall see where we go to with that. And is this the second? Yeah, this is the second of the poses with a slightly higher at port hold for the rifle musket. So I'm going to paint these up. My plan with these is I'm going to, with the customs thing, if I get stung with the customs, then I'll probably be put off buying them. So I'm going to paint these 30, do it as a unit, and then buy another 30 and just slowly build up an army that way. Years and years this will take me, but while I've got other big projects on, I might come to it and really give it a spurt later on. But at the moment, Narvik is my main thing. So there we go, some Shaco 64 Italian Risorgimento. So moving on to flatter non-figure things, I bought some of these Edward. They do some ensigns and figures. They're if you've seen the figures on the decks of the stuff, Czech Republic company. So I bought these for ensigns on my German ships. Very, very nice. Saves a lot of hassle trying to paint those flags, which are not straightforward. And then I have delved into my mate Ian Flags of War has moved all his stuff to Sarissa. So I'm ordering from Sarissa now rather than Ian direct, but same quality, same standard as you would expect from Flags of War. And I have bought the flags I require, or some flags that I need for my 28mm Swiss, because I've got enough figures now to start another 96 figure pipe block at some stage. So I like to do a row of bases as a canton. So I've got some for Zurich there, potentially use that bottom flag for a light horse unit. Then Glarius, nice kind of preacher on foot. Basel, I do like those, very, very nice. I like the way that Ian gets the shading and movement on the flags, very, very nice. And then generic Swiss flags to go in with the canton one. So each row of 3 bases will have 1 Swiss and 2 canton flags, and then I can mix and match inside the pipe blocks to make whatever combination I want. So those are the things that I've bought. And then, nice thing with this, Daddy and Bombo, which is a Italian Wargames magazine, and they approached me, asked me for some Risorgimento photographs, and as you can see, there's my Papals of Arves, and in the back there are some pictures of Mentana and some of my Garibaldi stuff. And the article isn't mine, it's by a chap called Lorenzo Sartori, talking about army lists of all things for me, for the Risorgimento. So really enjoyed, I always enjoy having my stuff in magazines, it's fantastic. I'd love to be in a position to write some articles for magazines, and I've been approached a couple of times. My problem is time, with work, etc. And the last month for me has been crazy busy at work, and I've not got to the Wargames Club. As you'll see shortly, I've not played any games, so my time is limited, and it gets taken a lot by podcasts, etc. And doing these videos, not that I mind, I'm not complaining whatsoever. I enjoy all the facets of my hobby, and appearing in a magazine is absolutely fantastic. So thank you for Daddy E and Piombo, and I'm hoping to have the editor of that on the show, on the podcast very soon, to talk about the magazine. There is an English version out, which I think is going to be quarterly, and will cover the best bits of 3 or 4 of these magazines, and will be translated into English. So keep an eye out for that when it comes out. Now, finally, big shout out to Kerry Thomas, who was at Partisan. Came over from New Zealand, and he's a big fan and a big supporter of the podcast and Yorkshire Gamer in general. And he brought me a present, and he brought me this, and I was absolutely gobsmacked. I'm always am when people, give me stuff. It's just a bit of a weird feeling, but I just wanted to show this and have a bit of a laugh at myself and say thank you very much, Kerry, for bringing this along. And I think it's a 3D printed. It's definitely lighty resin type thing, and I'm just twizzing it around and giving you the Anthea. And I got this, and I got it out of the box, and it's like this. And I'm going, oh, that's really good. I like that. I said, oh yeah, I could use that. I can spread it around for bits of different rubble terrain in anything really. But then I noticed the ladders, and at that point, you wouldn't believe I've got a degree, would you? At that point, I realised that if you did that, and if you do that, they fit together in one big tower. Oh dear. I am a bit of a numpty, aren't I? But yeah, great fun. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you very much, mate. These we could definitely get this used on the table. And my apologies for being a numbskull for not realising that they all fit together. So, with that in mind, it's time to look at Scores on Doors. It's that time again, and when we have a quick look at Yorkshire Gamer in general for a few minutes, and I do like looking back at some of the old ones of these and see how far everything's come over the last 3.5 years or so I've been doing these. So Facebook up 42 to 2643. Twitter's very nearly 3,000, so if you don't follow me on the Twitters, give us a follow. 15 more will get me up to 3,000. I do like a round number as an engineer. And Instagram, we seem to have gone up a little bit there recently. We were slumping, going down, but 3673 up 43, which is lovely. I wonder if it's the same 42 people who... Anyway, YouTube's up 44, coming up to 2,500 now, which is nice. Nowhere near my mate Alex Sutherland with his 97 million followers, but we're quality. I like to think the people who watch me are quality over quantity. That's what I'm saying, Alex. Right, podcast up 3. Steady away. 372 is quite good on Podbean, looking at other things. But if you don't already, do give us a follow on Podbean and give the podcast a review somewhere. It does increase the profile. We were number 1 in Slovenia last week, and we were in the top 10 in Japan. So, and all this on top of being number 1 in Finland last year. So what more could a man ask for? Facebook group up 519. God knows where that's come from. 3564. We've had some really great posts on there with some really great big games that have got like 20,000 likes and stuff. So thank you for people for posting stuff on there. Please continue to do so, unless it's some 3D shite that just looks dreadful. This is for painted miniatures. We've also got the World Cup of historical Wargames miniatures, which is I'm going to talk about in a minute. So hopefully that'll bring some more votes in for that. Podcast downloads 140,233, 4,817 during the previous month. Great. Thank you very much again. The episodes I did with Nick Jellicoe are not as popular as the other ones, which is very common, I have to say, for this historical stuff. But I honestly think they're the best 2 podcasts I've ever done. So if you haven't, give them a go. Nick is a fantastic guy, and so grateful for him giving his time up. So give them a listen. They really are worth a watch on YouTube or a listen on wherever you listen to your podcasts. And then Blue Sky 243. I'll keep posting on there. I keep saying I'm not sure whether I'm going to continue, but it's quite easy to do. So I'm there if you want to follow. So thanks very much for that. Thank you to everyone who follows Yorkshire Gamer, wherever you are. And it's time to have a quick review of what's going on the channel this month. First thing to talk about is the Yorkshire Gamers World Cup of Historical Wargames Miniature Manufacturers. Whew, just trips off the tongue, doesn't it? Well, last year we did the World Cup of Wargames rules, and this time we are doing figure manufacturers. And we've had the preliminary round already, and there were 151 manufacturers entered, of which the top 16 have entered into round one, and you can see the draw on the screen now. And those ties are going to start tomorrow, and then the winner of those 16 teams will go through into round two, where they will meet 8 seeds who have been picked by me, Sean, Clark, Alex Sutherland, and Martin from Seventh Son joined in as well. So there we go. Enjoy that. It's going to be on the Facebook group, so keep an eye out there for the votes. On the podcast, my first one out this month was with Joe Bilton. And Joe, if you don't know him, does absolutely amazing Wargames terrain. And he's really stepped the level up, I think, in terms of what Wargames tables can look like, and in my opinion should look like if they're going to be at a show. And we have a great in-depth chat with Joe about his approach to terrain and the hobby in general, and he's a great guy, so give it a listen. And then I had Pete Brown on from Tag. Pete's a real character, really like him. He's always fun to talk to at a Wargames show, and he runs the Assault group, or the day-to-day workings of the Assault group. He's made moulds for everybody in the business, and we have a great chat about his history in the hobby. Talking about Bob Connor from Tabletop Games, if anyone remembers Bob. It was a great chat with Pete, so again, one to listen to. And then, if you're not sick of me already, I appeared on 20-Sided Gamified Podcast. It's an American-based wargaming podcast. A couple of guys who really enthusiastic about the hobby, who do a wide range of interviews with different people that they have come across in the hobby, and for some strange reason they picked me. So there's a couple on there, well worth a listen, and the back catalogue too. So there you have it. There's another month done, and we're moving into August, and I've got no shows or anything planned next month. No, we're in July. Oh my God, I'm wishing my life away. So I've got no plans for next month in terms of shows or anything like that. I think the next show I'm going to be at is the Other Partisan. I looked at going to Claymore in Edinburgh, but unfortunately it's on the first weekend of the Edinburgh Festival, and I can't get a hotel anywhere near Edinburgh that isn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. So guys, Claymore show, I love it, but first weekend of the festival, week before, it wouldn't be a problem, but there we go. I'm sure there's reasons why you have it on that weekend, but it does make it very difficult for me to come up, and I wanted to come up and bring a game, but it's just not possible at all. So Other Partisan, I've put an application form in to do an Italian Wars game at the Other Partisan, which would be really nice if we could get that on. Then it will be Mentana at Fiasco, at I put an application to do it in Battleground up in the northeast. I've not been up there for a while, so I'll give it a go there. And then Mentana will finish at Salute next year, and then we'll see where we are with Narvik for shows after that. So hopefully you are going to have an absolutely fantastic summer holiday if you're going away over the next few months. I hope you enjoy your painting, your gaming, etc. And for all those people out there, some buildings come in different parts. Until next time, see you.